What's up, guys? Joe here, the guy who warned Reggie to not go at Buddy Love. And I'm here to talk about UFC 284. It was a card that I enjoyed, but man, do I got some stuff I gotta talk about. So, enough talk, let's get to the fights. Because in our main event, we had Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev. So Volk wins, double champ. And honestly, really good fight. This is normally an easy 9 out of 10 for me. Like if it was a retro review scoring grade, 9 out of 10. This fight had almost everything I kind of want. Outside of like one round, which I wasn't really a fan of, but it was kind of so weird. I do like it. I don't know. This is almost everything I want in a fight. Incredibly technical grappling, technical striking, mid-fight adjustments. Both guys kind of playing like and showing us new wrinkles in their game and stuff. And admittingly, I really like when a fight's competitive. I kind of got some little one guy had some issues with me scoring a fight that was like very one-sided, not as highly as another fight that was just okay. And I really don't like when a fight is super one-sided. I get kind of like, okay, like feels foregone conclusion-y. I like that level of excitement that anything can happen. That's what I love about this sport. So this fight had it for me. That said, I really disagree with this result. It's a kind of a controversial take. I feel like a lot of people are kind of, one side or the other. It's a controversial fight. But most people agree it was at least close. I agree it was close. I just think it was kind of clear for me that Volkanovski won. Again, just my opinion, Who am I but just a handsome guy that talks to you on the internet? So the controversy is round 2, okay? I wrote it down as knockdown, but I'm not trying to demean anybody that has a differing opinion from me. So I don't remember a knockdown in that round 2, though. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say, if you say there was a knockdown, sure. I don't remember a knockdown. Okay, I haven't only watched the fight once, so I want to rewatch it and I can have maybe a different opinion. I think a lot of us are going to be rewatching this fight over again for a multitude of reasons. And I don't remember a knockdown in round 2. I remember one in round 1 for the most part. I mean, I can understand getting knocked to a knee. Someone saying that's a knockdown. Everyone scores a knockdown a little differently, I suppose. Sure. I thought round 2 had a knockdown. I believe it was round 2 where Volk cracked Makhachev. And Makhachev went down and just went for a takedown. He kind of landed on his butt a little bit, if I remember correctly. So I almost thought about that as being a knockdown personally, but I didn't really count it. I scored round 2 for Volkanovski regardless. Knockdown or not, scored it for Volk. That said, really interesting that of the remaining 4 rounds, they were all pretty clear. Rounds 1, definite Volkanovski for me. My brother scored it for Islam, but whatever. And round 4 was, round 1, I hit it backwards, excuse me. I'm going to redo that. Carl, sorry about that. I literally got the names mixed up. I don't know how. All right, 3, 2, 1. I do find it interesting, though, that the remaining 4 rounds were very much, kind of clear on who won. Round 1, I scored for Islam. My brother scored for Volkanovski. A little weird, but hey, man, Round 4 was also Islam, which... Well, I'll talk about that round in a second. Rounds 3 and 5 were Volkanovski. So round 2 is the big one that we're going to be talking about for a while. Round 4 was really weird. I got to talk about round 4. So round 4, Islam won it, right? Like, am I crazy? Listen. We got great fans of the INC. You can tell me if I'm crazy, right? I'm not gonna, I ain't gonna take nothing against it, but I feel crazy in going, Islam has back control. Just back control. He's trying for chokes every once in a while. But Volkanovski's playing to the crowd. That's got to be what did it. He's playing to the crowd, and he's just throwing shots back. Gonna be honest. I've been in that position 1,000 times. Doing this back, he ain't gonna do nothing. It's gonna sting maybe. But he ain't gonna do no real damage. But man, at the end of that round, I was like, man, that weird part of me wants to really give it to Volkanovski. I didn't. It's an Islam round. It is. Back control for 4 minutes. Yeah, Islam round. I don't know, man. I don't know. Has to be biased because I'm a very big Volkanovski fan, so it has to be just bias. But I don't know. Am I the only one who thought that? I don't know. Weird. Um, you know, but they scored it for Islam. One judge gave it 49-46. Yeah, terrible. 48-47, I thought was for either guy. I could see it. I guess. I don't know. Volkanovski. I got Volkanovski. Who's around 2-3-5. Islam 1-4. I don't know. Damage was comparable, but very good. Islam had some better striking than I kind of expected, admittingly. And Volkanovski had really good defensive grappling. Really good at just popping back up. I think when a guy takes you down, you just pop up, pretty quick. I think that's pretty telling, especially when you're winning the striking. That's kind of why I lean towards that. Finally, pound for pound rankings. I would like to cover this briefly. They suck, I think. So the concept of they just don't make any sense, right? People kind of look into these a little weirdly. So this is the concept of a pound for pound ranking. What if in this crazy alternate universe or through madness of science, we have scaled Brandon Moreno, the flyweight champion of the world, to 205 pounds. So he's the same scale. He's going to have the same kind of reach advantage, the same kind of height and all that. And we have scaled him perfectly, attributes and all, to 205 pounds. Does he beat Jamal Hill or Yuri Prohaska? The answer is pretty simple every time on these pound for pound rankings. The lighter guys, every time, right? The guys who start off lighter, because they have skill reigns a little bit more supremely in their divisions. I think it's probably the easiest way to say it. Not trying to, offend anybody who is like fought at like heavier weight classes or anything like that, but so therefore, pound for pound rankings are kind of dumb. And if you really have to be the best guy on the planet, who's the best guy on the planet? I think this fight kind of confirms it's Volkanovski still. He was going up in weight and he pulled off this performance. If you disagree, that's fine. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys you can definitely nominate. I think win or lose or draw, I thought Volkanovski was going to walk out of this number one still. So co-main event though, Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. And I said in the preview show, the path to victory for Josh Emmett to me seems pretty clear. Forward pressure, because you want Yair to kick off that back foot. Kicking off the back foot is so awkward. I can tell you from experience, incredibly awkward. I hated it. I hated getting pressured. And you want to jam the airspace, so to speak, with kicks as well. You can kick back. You kick with a kicker. Okay, you always kick a kicker. Trust me. And so you want to jam this airspace. And if Yair looks to spin, you step in and clinch. You just get a hold of him. I think that is the clear path to victory for Josh Emmett. Something Josh Emmett can definitely do. I still picked Yair, but I said, hey, here's the path. And I think this weight cut just did not let Josh Emmett do anything. We all see the picture of him. It's ghastly. It's rough weight cut for sure, bud. He just really didn't do any of that. He was pretty content just sit out there and eat kicks at range. And those body kicks were disgusting. Oh my God, those body kicks were rough. So when Yair did step in with some looping punches, Emmett was very much on the counter. He wanted to just play the counter game, which isn't something great when a guy can just pick you apart from range, which I think definitely hurt his game plan here. So Emmett was ready for these big, counter hooks, which was really good. He actually really hurt Yair. I'll admit, in round one when he tagged him, I went, oh, he's going to just drop him, pound him out, right? He didn't get it, but he definitely tagged Yair at points with, I think Yair has a little bit of a sloppier boxing game, admittingly. Love his striking overall, but his boxing, sometimes he's willingness to loop and kind of has his chin up in the air. Sometimes he's a little bit of a problem when he's advancing, at least with his boxing. So that's something I personally always notice. But there were some grappling exchanges, and in the grappling exchanges, funny, Emmett was looking to land some good shots at times, but Yair's in guard just coming down, Tony Ferguson elbows, it was fantastic. Loved it. And the finish of the fight came with a triangle choke. Got a triangle choke, so now we have two Mexican champs, and I got this in advance to celebrate. A Mexican Coke, which if you're from the South in America, it's the real deal. Oh my God. I got to do this to celebrate another champion that is hecho en el Mexico, or not en el Mexico. You just say hecho en Mexico. Though, let's talk about the big, for me, like the really big, interesting positive out of this, which is the Jack Della Maddalena fight. My word, what a performance. So at first, Randy Brown is using his range really well. He's like kind of making this he's the longer, taller fighter, making it difficult for Maddalena to get in, Della Maddalena to get in. So, and he was looking pretty good. Jack was a little struggling a little bit. Then, super sweet mid-fight adjustment from Jack Della Maddalena, which is he cuts off the circling. And normally people will just cut off when a guy's circling. He doesn't cut off. He cuts off and steps in very aggressively. And he actually presses Randy to the cage. Lands a massive right hand on an off-balance Randy Brown, who face plants, gets his back taken, gets choked out. You know, rear naked choke. Honestly, I'm really, really, really curious to see JDM, as some people are calling him, to make it easy on us. I really want to see him against better competition in the future. I think this could be, JDM could legitimately be someone very, very high on this prospect list. I'm impressed with him every time. And I have a name for pure chaos and fun. Michelle Pajeda. Please. MMA gods got to be watching me on this one. Please. But let's talk about the rest of the card. So, Justin Taffa had a quick knockout over Parker Porter in a fight that I honestly wanted on the prelims. I'll be honest. Alonzo Minifield and Jimmy Crute went to a draw after a point deduction to Minifield. Minifield had a point deduction in round 3 for grabbing the cage. Super fun fight. Actually, it was really fun. I'm glad I got to see it. Modestas Bukauskas got a odd decision over Tyson Pedro. I was a little busy, I'll admit, when I was trying to watch this fight. I was a little busy doing some stuff. But I felt like Pedro won. I might have to rewatch that fight, admittingly. And then Clayton Rodriguez TKO'd Shannon Ross in round 1. That included a WWE hip attack style, or as I prefer it, an ode to all our fellow brothers and sisters out there suffering from IBS. Jack Jenkins and Don Shanis had a great fight. It was really fun little scrap. Awesome low kicks. Just nasty from Jenkins. It was great. I love low kicks. Good win from Jenkins. And finally, I'm going to butcher the name, but Luke Bunmi. I always ruin her name. I have apologies. She got a rear naked choke win over Elise Reed in round 2. But that's it for me. I'll be here next week. I'm going to be covering Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield. Talia Santos just pulled out. I heard about it Saturday, so I imagine it happened that day. But honestly, I'm still excited. I'm really excited to see Erin Blanchfield again. But it was a pay-per-view week, which of course means another retro review on the main series, or main channel, another retro review on the main channel. And go check it out if you haven't. I had a lot of fun making it, as I always say, and I always mean it. But I'm Joe with the INC. Thank you for watching.